All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started on the Ping Pong Propulsion event coach training for the Wayne Oakland Science Olympiad tournament. And thank you all for attending. Our supervisor will be with us in a moment, but while we're waiting for him to join, I'm going to go ahead and share with you a copy of the rules, and I'm going to start giving you a description of some of what this event is about. And the copy of the rules that I'm sharing are available on the Wayne Oakland Science Olympiad website if you haven't seen these before. And so this is an event where your students, you and your students will design in advance a device. When I say you and your students, I'm a tournament director at another tournament, and I see devices which show up at my tournament, where I think, wow, I really hope that those students had some involvement in what was going on, because it looks like a parent designed and built a device. So this is an event where you have to design and build that event in advance and test it and understand how it works, and then and collect data, and then bring your device and that data to the tournament. And you won't know in advance how far away exactly the target will be, and you have to be able to use that data to then calibrate your device and start shooting at the target. And then as you're shooting, you'll be able to make further adjustments and to try to improve your accuracy in hitting the target. And so please keep your students safe, but also give them an opportunity to do it. And when you come to the tournament, you will not be able to interact with your students. The students will need to be able to do this on their own. Just looking at the rules, so the things that the students do need to bring, they need to bring their launching device. They need to bring their safety goggles. They can bring up to 15 ping pong balls, and there's specific colors of what are allowed. They can also bring their practice log, which has the data that the basis of how they might calibrate or set the settings on their device. What they can't use is any kind of technology. They need to keep that out of sight. If they got a cell phone, keep it in their pocket. Don't be touching it, that kind of thing. The practice log, in addition to being helpful for them to know how to operate their device, it also is used as a tiebreaker. In the event of a tie, the quality of that practice log is used to break a tie. So there are no material or size restrictions on what the launcher is. You do need to have some caution about what might be considered hazardous. So for instance, lead acid batteries and flammable gases, they're not allowed. We haven't seen those before, I don't think. So the stored energy that's in the device is what is used to launch the ping pong balls. You want to make sure that you label your ping pong balls with your team number, because your team will be shooting alongside other teams at the same time. And so when they're counting up the scores at the end, they need to be able to separate those balls and know whose balls went where. Let's see, let me look and see if our supervisor has joined us here yet. I don't see him. Okay. I'm not sure what's going on. I hope he joins us before we're all done here. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my camera too, so you guys don't feel like I'm talking to a. So hopefully Madhu joins us in a few minutes here. So your team will have 15 ping pong balls, and they're a mix in terms of what they have. So 10 of them can be white, 4 of them can be orange, and 1 of them will be orange with a black mark band on it. And when you look in the scoring, what you see is those different balls are worth different amounts, depending on essentially there's a multiplier that's applied to the scores if it's an orange ball, and a larger multiplier if it's the orange ball with the black line. So when you put your team number on it, if you would also underline that team number, that helps eliminate ambiguity about the orientation of how you've written that number on the ball. So this is an event where you're required to impound your device at the beginning of the day. So you'll see that on the tournament schedule. And we ask that at least one of the 2 competing students be present for impound, because they may be asked questions about their device. You can impound up to 15 ping pong balls. Please make sure they're in some kind of a like Ziploc bag so that they're controlled. You will not be allowed to impound more than those 15 balls. You want to have a practice log, and I recommend that you have 2 copies, because one of them will be kept by the supervisor in the case that they need to break a tie. And the other one, your students will want to have available to them while they're shooting. The goggles, you don't have to have them during impound, but you are going to need to have them while you compete. Okay. There's some advice here about what might be on a practice log. The target that you're going to be shooting at is an inflatable pool, and with a 5-gallon bucket in the middle. And the launch line can be anywhere from 4 to 8 meters from the center of that target. And I believe that it could be half meter intervals. So it could be 6.5 meters, could be 7 meters, things like that. The launch area, it's going to be in a gymnasium, so it's going to be a hard surface floor. And after impound, I believe the information on the distance to the target will be public. Students won't know before impound. And I don't know exactly how your supervisor will set it up, but it could be, depending on how many teams are launching at once, they'll be shooting from different sides of the pool. So similar to this diagram that you see here. And the students will wait until they're instructed by the event supervisor as to when they can start shooting. There is a line behind which they'll have to stay behind. They can stay behind that the entire time. The participants may sort of hang on to the edge of their device if they feel like they need to do that to keep it stable. We do want them to stay safe. They're going to get a total of 4 minutes to launch their 15 balls. That doesn't sound like a lot of time, but if they're diligent about it, they won't have any trouble at all. I've seen teams who launch all their balls in 2 minutes. So they should take their time and make the most of those 4 minutes. Let's see here. Once they shoot a ball, they do not get to try to shoot it again. Like, they can't run over and pick it up and try again. So if the ball is behind the launch line, they do have control of it. Once it crosses their launch line, it's no longer available to them. Okay. And your students might get interrupted if for some reason something appears unsafe, or they cross the line, or there's some other issues. And they may see, because students are oriented across the target from other teams, they may see a ball coming at them that's coming from another team as well. Okay. And as spectators, as an event coach, you'll be able to stand and watch this event, but it'll be at a distance where you're not allowed to interact with the students as they compete. And from a scoring standpoint, if you're the bullseye is worth 25 points. Getting it into the pool is worth 9 points. But then if you, depending on which ball it is, those are the points that a white ball would receive. If it's an orange ball, we're going to multiply those numbers by 3. And if it's the one with the black stripe, we're going to multiply that number by 5. And then that total will be all those, whatever is collected in the pool at the end. It doesn't matter how it gets into the pool or the bucket. It's just if it's there at the very end. And then the practice log is also worth 50 points, and so that's added to your score as well. If you don't impound your device on time, you'll be penalized 20 points. So there are some construction parameters that your device has to meet. So for instance, it has to have something soft on the bottom, like rubber feet, so that it doesn't damage the gymnasium floor in where you're going to be competing. Okay.
I'm back, John. So.
Oh, how wonderful!
Sorry about that.
Oh, good gosh!
I'm extremely sorry.
I don't know if you heard anything. I just essentially went through the rules.
Yeah.
So, yes, thank you. I'm glad
continue.
you're back. We can start over.
Yeah, finally it worked.
I apologize. I don't know. Who knows what trouble there was. Okay, teams, we'll meet your supervisor.
Yeah, sorry guys. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you? How long have you been on?
Just a couple of minutes.
Okay. Anyway, so I sort of walked through the rules.
Yeah.
And so maybe it'd be a good time to take questions.
Yeah, this is Madhu, and I've been supervising this event for past few years. So please go ahead and fire if you have any questions.
Hey Madhu, like questions verbally, right?
Yeah.
So one question, like when the launch line is set, say between 4 to 8 meters, is it like same distance for everyone, or it will be like a different distance for each team in the day?
It's the same distance for everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Hey Madhu, I have. I'm sorry, I have a question. So my name is Radhakrishna. I would like to know if the launching device, can be moved behind the launching line before shooting, each and every ball. Like, can they move it here and there, or does it have to be fixed at a certain position?
Yeah, you can move it, but it should not cross the line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Madhushri here. One quick question. How many launches does the participants have to get?
15 balls.
I mean, like the distance wise, will it be just once, or they get to do 2 or 3 times?
Only one distance. So between 4 to 8 meters, we decide on that day.
Okay.
And from that point, then you will shoot.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, in the past, what we have seen is some of the devices, they don't have the a soft pad at the bottom, but so make sure that you have that soft pad.
Regarding the practice logs or the data sheets, what details are to be added there? I know there are some variables added. Is that something that the participants try to fill in when they try to do some trials?
Exactly. So whatever the variables it has mentioned in the document, you can have those variables. And how many times you practiced and what is your score and for what distances you practiced.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
So I have 2 questions. One, will the team number come out when at impound? So we'll need to bring a Sharpie to mark the balls, or will we know beforehand?
You need to get the team number beforehand, and you have to put everything, the team number and the team name on the device, and also team number on the balls before you impound the device and balls.
You should ask your head coach what your team number is.
Yeah.
Okay, so our head coach has it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you said we could, or the kids, I should say, can move the device as long as it stays behind the line. Is it the whole device or just like the launching point that has to stay behind the line?
It's up to them, up to the kids, but it should not cross the line. But as long as it is behind the line and they can reposition the device a little bit, they can change the angle or they can change the shooting position a little bit here and there, but it should not cross the line.
So a detail in this. So sometimes devices have like an arm that's moving and it moves and it shoots the ball and then it returns to its stationary, its settled position. And no one's going to be measuring the movement of that arm, but when the device is ready to be shot, it needs to be behind that line. Yep. No one will judge its position while it's shooting, if that was part of your question.
No, I'm asking like if there's like a runway at the front of the device, does that need to stay behind the line?
Yeah, that need to stay behind the line.
Okay, thank you.
No part of the device should cross the line.
So to add to that, like if the device has some sort of insertion to put like a ball, and like student can come above the line to put the ball inside, but device will still stay behind the line, or student always has to stay behind the line, even like while putting the ball inside or something like that. Is that okay?
The rules do say that the students need to stay behind the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Got it. Sure. Thank you.
And what about the distance range, like min and max? Are there some values also documented in the rules, or is this totally going to be a surprise?
It's totally going to be a surprise on that day.
No, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt in that too. The rules say
but that
it will be a surprise, but there is a range. It can't be shorter than 4 meters, and it can't be longer than 8 meters.
Yep.
And it must be at least a half meter, right? So there are specific. So what does that total up to? So that's about 10 possible distances, right? Collectively.
Okay, so it's between 4 and 8 meters.
4 and 8 meters. That's correct.
So 8-meter counted as a center of the pool, or pool is like the periphery of the pool is 8-meter away, like how
no,
that
center of the pool.
Center of the pool. Okay, perfect.
And you said it would be in half-meter increments, so we don't have to worry about 5 1/4, correct?
Correct. Half-meter increments. Either it can be 4.5 or 5, 5.5, 6, like that.
Okay, thank you.
So the rules do have a lot of details in them. So if you haven't seen a copy of the rules, that's a great thing to do to get started.
Yeah, if the ball hits the pool and comes back for whatever reasons, comes behind the line, can the kids still reuse the ball, or are they not allowed to?
Yeah, John, we don't allow that, right? Yeah. Once it ball crosses the line, they cannot take. If it hits the pool and comes back, they cannot reuse it.
Yeah. So now I'll say, would we see that happen? Like during the competition, there's a lot going on. If that ball rolled behind the lines and the kid picked it up and shot it again, I will say the chances of that happening is so infinitesimally small. I'm not sure it's an interesting debate.
Yeah,
but
sometimes
technically they're not allowed to.
Yeah, technically, yeah. Sometimes when you're shooting, so there is a opposite team in the exact same direction. If they shoot and the balls collide each other, and they may come back, but you cannot use that ball.
All right.
And I recommend that they don't pick up another team's ball and shoot it toward the target. That won't help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Thirumal. Thanks for this session. How practice logs, how long are those the practice session logs during the preparation for the competition, or is there a separate practice round for which they need to prepare the logs? Just a question. Sorry, I joined a little bit late.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So it's while you are doing the practice, there is no separate session for to collect the to fill the practice log. While your kids are practicing, so they can write it down for which distances they practiced and what is the score they got it. So yeah, there is no separate session.
Thanks. One more follow-up questions. While they are shooting, is it okay to adjust the launcher length so that they can calculate the trajectory and then adjust the trajectory and things like that? And also, can they add or remove elastic bands if the launcher needs it for storing of the energy? Is that allowed?
Yeah, that is allowed, but everything, whatever the elastic bands they wanted to use, everything has to be impounded.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
they can adjust.
How long before the competition will the impound be, or do we get to reach a help desk for that to make sure that we have our items all impounded at the correct time and not miss out? Yeah.
I think it is between 8:30 and 9, I think, impound time, correct, John? Before event start time, you have to impound. Yeah, we publish the times when the impound needs to be done.
Let me quickly check.
Yeah.
But yeah, that does sound correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the impound is listed between 9 and 10, or 8:30 and, I'm sorry, 8:30 and 9:30.
8:30, yeah.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
And about the device itself, are there any rules which say that, okay, the device should look like this, like that, or it should not look like any other device which the other team is using? Are there any specific rules for that?
No specific rules. But only thing is, if you are using the device from the previous, you should not use the device from the previous year, but there is no way for us to know that whether the device has been used in the previous years. But it's these events are basically to give the opportunity to the kids to learn something new. So yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So I need to stop the recording in a couple of minutes, Madhu, and so you can continue to stay on and answer questions after I stop the recording.
Yeah, sure.
Hi, my name is Shiram. I just had a quick question. For like some of the new coaches, do you have any like tips for like what's a good starting point to like build the device? Because in the rules, it's not really like anything specific. So how would you for just beginning coaches?
I don't think we can advise you on that one. But maybe you can look in the Google or in the YouTube. But it's whatever the rules and the document, it has got all the details. Yeah, I don't think we can advise you on that.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Thank
so
you.
I'm willing to venture a couple of comments if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So elastic is a common energy source for teams.
Mhm.
So looking for, finding materials like that, like bungee cord kind of material, that kind of thing. And then your success is going to be driven by whether you've practiced, right? Did you collect data? Did you, organize your information in a way that the students know how to use? And then have you practiced using that data, right? Those are things that lead to success.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Hi.
So one question, like while making device, can we use some sort of compressed air mechanism, like again, not battery operated, but like a manual compressed air? Is that allowed to create like a stored energy?
Yeah, that's allowed.
Okay, thank you.
And what about the results? The results will be out on the same day after the event, or will they be out after, I don't know, a couple of days?
No, on the same day after the event.
Okay, thank you.
Hi. Also, one more question regarding the length of the launcher arm. Is it okay to mark the distances for which the launcher needs to be, say, like for 4.5, have this kind of a length on the device, or it is not allowed? Or 8 meters, or 4.5 through 8 meters, just giving the kids level indicators for marking purpose. Are there things allowed or no?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Say, for example, as a process of launching and the trajectory, depending on the distance that the supervisors chooses for the competition, if we were to require the kids to increase or decrease the launcher length, from the fulcrum point, can they make, say, for a 4.5, this is the length, that kind of a markers on the launcher tube, if you will?
Yeah, they can make it. So on the device construction point of view, right, this year we don't have any constraints.
Yeah.
Only you should not cross the line. That's only the constraint.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so the pre-calibrated markings on the device are fine.